Hi. I see a lot of people these days who pop antacids like it's some kind of mint, and I wanted to make this video to encourage and help you to get off this. I'm going to explain the basic mechanism of this, and we need to remember that our body has this certain acid-alkaline balance that it needs to maintain to function well. That acid-alkaline balance has to be present in your blood and even your other body fluids. And when this is imbalanced, like for example, when the acid is too high, then it can basically leach calcium and magnesium from your bone, and it uses that to buffer that excess acidity. So that's why it can cause conditions like osteoporosis and rheumatoid arthritis, to name a few. So when we eat something, then our stomach produces gastric acid to digest that food. This is really strong gastric acid, and the pH range of this is between 1.5 to 2.5. And this strong gastric acid is what helps us break down vitamins, minerals, and also helps in protein digestion. So when there's an imbalance in this, the digestion of proteins, vitamins, and minerals is impaired. And it's very important to know this. So if we have any kind of indigestion related issue, then our most common course of treatment is taking antacids and acid blocking drugs. And these antacids raise that pH to 3.5. And when that pH is raised, then there is no absorption of nutrients. And that's why it's not uncommon to find people who've been on antacids for like 1 to 2 years to have all kinds of deficiencies, especially those of vitamin B, magnesium, calcium, and iron. And we see that these clients have they're on calcium injections, and they've gone ahead and developed stomach ulcers, and all because there's no awareness that this is not supposed to be a regular thing. Let's not abuse antacids. Let's use them sparingly. Another thing that also happens with constant overuse of antacids is that it kind of changes your gut flora, the environment in your gut. And it makes it very conducive to organisms like H. pylori, which is very common these days, or even the other bad bacteria, which we don't want. We want a fine balance of the good and bad. Both are needed, but it makes it, it kind of predisposes it to having more of the bad bacteria. So it's good to know the common causes and some solutions, which I will discuss. Some of the common causes of acidity or even acid reflux is being obese, being using a lot of heavy medication and antibiotics, constantly having alcohol, caffeine, overuse of these things, and eating a lot of fried food, fatty food, sugar, junk, animal-based products. Even being stressed out is acidic for your body. Smoking is acidic for your body. So all of these things, they put a lot of pressure on your intra-abdominal region, and that causes the contents of your stomach to kind of go up your esophageal sphincter. And when that happens, you're kind of losing the tone in your esophageal sphincter, and it's losing its suppleness over time. So to combat all this, I think it's nice to remember that plant-based foods, whole plant-based foods, are very good to maintain the body's optimal pH range. And we can think of including foods like rose, ash gourd, bitter gourd, which is an Ayurvedic remedy, a lot of greens in your foods, even aloe is really good. Not lying down after your meals, being very active, especially after your main meals, chewing your food really well. Maybe you could have ginger and lemon with every single meal, and including probiotics, digestive enzymes, some fermented foods, and we can also work on the vagus nerve function. You can look it up. There are various ways to do this. and all of these strategies are going to help you get off the antacids. Hope this helps you.